Mining is the extraction of valuable minerals with other geological materials from the earth crust, usually from lode, vein or body, seam, reef or placer deposits. These deposits constitute a mineralized package that is of economic interest to the prospective miner. Mining is required to obtain essential commodities that cannot possibly grow via agricultural processes or created artificially in a factory or laboratory. Mining of stones and metals has been a well-recognized human occupation since the prehistoric era. The economic importance of mining cannot be overemphasized and will continue to be an important support to the economy of any country. Aside from boosting gross domestic product, it encourages high rates of employment opportunities and equally thrives to ensure that the number of entrepreneurs in the country is increased tremendously. Joining me on the show is the Minister of Solid Minerals, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Dele Alake. Is also a Nigerian journalist, activist, and a technocrat, a former Commissioner of Information and Strategy of Lagos from 1999 to 2007. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'd like to start this way. You kindly elaborate on key components of your transformation agenda for the solid mineral sector and how it aims to reposition the entire sector.
Thank you very much, Tolu. In my maiden press conference, I did unfold a 7-point agenda, actually contingent upon the renewed hope agenda of the Tinubu administration. And you know, the philosophical ground norm of the Tinubu administration is the vision of efficient, transformational, and effective governance. And like it's no longer business as usual in the country. The business of government is the business of everybody. And the philosophy behind this mantra is that we can no longer afford to be lethargic in Nigeria. We can no longer afford to be immersed in inertia. You will agree with me that Nigeria has been living a very permissive life hitherto. We have been quite indulgent because of our monocultural economy. And we've been having free flow of revenue, money from the oil sector. And this has very unfortunately made us to shift attention from those necessary and critical sectors of the economy, like the solid minerals, like the agricultural sector, even industrialization, to the detriment of the progress of the country. And so, with the emergence of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, there is a renewed focus on the solid minerals sector as a critical factor of progress and development for the country. In the first instance, you and I would agree that the oil in international affairs is fading out. One, because hydrocarbons, fossil fuels are no longer fashionable because of the drive for climate change. There's been so much pollution in the world through the use of hydrocarbons. And so there is a global campaign against hydrocarbons and for reduction in the global pollution. Now, green energy is a fashionable thing now, and we have an abundance of green energy potentials in the solid mineral sector. But critically, the fundamental reason why we are shifting focus, or why this country is shifting attention to the solid mineral sector, is for survival, is for economic survival. Because this hydrocarbon, the oil, is fading out, if we do not shift attention to exploit our God-given abundance of solid minerals, Nigeria will be in economic dire straits down the line. So for our own societal progress, survival, we have to shift attention to the mineral sector. Secondly, to also contribute our own quota to the campaign against pollution, to the campaign for climate change. And that is really a very fundamental reason as well. So, in furtherance of all of this vision, I did unfold a 7-point agenda, some of which are the establishment of the Nigerian Mineral Corporation, which will harness the sector, all the resources of the sector, will regulate, will operate, and would hold equity on behalf of Nigeria, so that the resources, the revenue that are being carted away by either unscrupulous people, illegal operators, and the like, will be stopped and harnessed and judiciously expended for the benefit of Nigerians. Secondly, we have to engage in big data gathering. Without the generation of big data and efficient data, we cannot market our solid mineral potentials effectively in the global market, because investors, the big investors, want to know what you have, where those things are located, and if possible, the quantity, estimated quantity of what you. These are the factors that will generate their interest to bring their hard-earned money to come and invest in our country. And when they come to invest, they create employment. There is local value added, and there is beneficiation for the host communities, as well as the country's contribution to the country's GDP in general. We also have the campaign against illegal mining. Now, illegal mining is one of the very nefarious activities that have been actually shortchanging the development of this mineral sector in Nigeria. So while I unfolded this 7-point agenda, I did give a 30-day ultimatum to illegal miners to form themselves into cooperatives so that they can be formalized and be structured and be dealt with legitimately by the regulatory authority, which is the federal government. Now, that ultimatum was not meant to be a punitive measure. And I've been saying this because there has been some misconception about that ultimatum. A section or some sections of the country felt that they were being targeted. No, that's not the motive. The motive is to actually help these so-called illegal miners, to bring them into the fold, into a formal fold and structure, so that they themselves can benefit more from legitimate activities, so that